Honorable Kwabana, a poem to saying.
Major Sumira, Nyamiada Roma,
I want to
a honey or hopa.
Yamiase, papa. Ain't he any Ubebusa? What was saying?
The question, dear Hindi, a question, pa.
Question, Cassia,
Question, Cassia. Nyamiada Roma, February 2018.
Yes.
Na minye juma wa ECOWAS.
Oh, okay.
ECOWAS Commission, ewo Abuja. Na semi mayor commissioner for microeconomic policy and economic research.
Okay.
For the 15-member country. Na if we say ejuma no so ejuma makoma ben ho pa na afensu fi say nyame ama me kwanya metimi ne West African crew no aye adwuma na kakra minim mesome de ama wo mo na wo so de on betimi aye ama ya pagya ye economies no ye sikasem in particular etimi ahihye na ye nyina de di kaya beye se oman baako ye di sika baako ye trade ye bie ye crew no mu ama obi atimbam ye nyina ye kura passport baako na sika ankasa bio ye bepagya akwa abrochira akoto ne ma ne yemfan ento yen aye ho na ye moa ye ho nti mpanyimfo so fie petedu na mo a edika jese yeni aye ho ne de ye betimi aboa afin so hwe a wa hu se West Africa na so often say bibimani nyina Africa no ye ka achiri niema bebre mu se omano kwa animu no ne animu koro no ya ka ho achiri ye sikasem ye ofe bibia se yen wiase ne yen ka ho bisa ti wase ye pay attention ye de ani ko ho se niema ye betimi aye ni apagya ye ni yeso enya anyimonyam na ye nipa no so a ye manu mu no enya ahoto enu nti na ye form ECOWAS na me nso me koye no makoye de metimi atoa nkrofo a ye di manim no timiji se ye make progress.
It is specifically no as a commissioner any opposition I would describe it as here no we juma pote in the 15-member countries no
mejuma pote ne se me follow the economics na country bia macroeconomic policy okay and omo trade policy omo research statistics say unum say research na me nya information who say afi nya niema say na ba ye krumu say ne ye say ne exporto yisika kwa abrochire ye say na fin so ya they dealing with the yourself say yan no so far Ghana for example and ye niema me hin ye to fi African for na ye de aba beto de to fi abonten ni nyina ka ho na ma omanya nkoso nti me madwuma ne se me pepe mu oma bia policies a omo ye no policies ni ye policies a ebema nkoso aba macroeconomic policy on interest rate, policy on inflation, policy on trade. And all the other what we call microeconomic variable BBB indicators no nti enho adwuma na meye nti se me ba Ghana si a me staff e ba ha ni aba bi hwehwem afi omani skase ni nyaaye se ni eche no inflation rate ni yesay interest rate yesay GDP yadwuma ye ni nyina ka bomu a yesay na afi ya hwe e trade eniema yeton ye nyina no emiahe ne kwa amanone emiahe ni stay West Africa die ne yenso ko fefi obi kromu eba na se na affect yen emaye nyankoso ana emaye nyankoso na afi ade kese ba konso esi ye ni mo ECOWAS ne se 15 countries ni nyina ebedi sika baako eco no eno ye adwuma kese a edaye ni so na microeconomic policy commissioner no na adwuma kese pa me say eno ni gina ho because if he say se yetimi nya sika baako di ne manage ye macroeconomy ni ya ene be pagya West Africa ama yakoyenim.
Okay, in the member Ebusa Bibi about Eco, no, and where we are at the moment. But before that, no, based on Juma or terms of reference and the other, no, you would be in the known about the health of the economies of ECOWAS countries. No, it is a 15 economies now. Based on the macroeconomic indicators of our boss, no, countries when our because or more dear pie in West Africa.
Yani ye measure countries ni nyina ye koji data na said the American no. Nti ebi we oya ade wo ha na onya ade wo ha. But countries are say ye look at country benefit all our macroeconomic convergence criteria and ye Togo. Togo is the one country unya biche obia. The next country is Senegal and Ghana wo ho. Okay. Na Addison Soba. It is here in ECOWAS, 15 countries, no? Which country has the biggest economy? Nigeria.
Nigeria
has just about 60% of the total GDP.
Of all the 15
countries. West Africa. Na was a Ghana for
after Nigeria, the second biggest here, Ghana.
Okay. And the third is Cote d'Ivoire. Okay. And the fourth is Senegal, and on and on and on.
Okay. But now can be say I was a Ghana for boy and home than baby.
No, mommy, refi.
No problem. But the point is that chair 15 African guy can in Abumua.
West African
can be 15, no. Nigeria and Kenya 60%. In terms of the size of 15 countries in our economy, that's the situation.
Yes, one population of Nigeria is close to 200 million.
Close to 200 million.
Yeah, look at where we are.
Yeah.
So for the state of Lagos, the state of back. I'm sorry, Mentimi can appropriately where Lagos is.
Okay.
Omunkwa population no che Ghana ben prince prenu na prince mpo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nti eso ikura eso nti na senka yetimi coordinate ye ho. Now with that kind of economy no, you can imagine demand enema beto kwa afi ho. Ene Ghana so no ya position ye ho say ye obi abu ye. Now only in West Africa, I've traveled extensively. You not only West Africa country na yekum. You call all the international organization, World Bank, BBI or IMF, BBI or European Union, BBI or I'm call representing. Now baby I will be kono nkrofobuye, krofobugana pa. Yire hua. Miji say we are going through maybe this period is some difficulties, but I think the future is very good for Ghana.
But the other thing is for a country like Togo, not relatively in KCSR, so compare Ghana and the other countries. What is working for them? I didn't know Mono seem to be doing well. The impact of COVID near and they being hit or more.
Oh, I hate you. So beside, I no say country better. You didn't define it within the context. Of the COVID. COVID in my and we say Ghana, we were making a lot of progress. For example, when you look at some of the indicators, stability, even in our exchange rates, the GDP rate of growth, and sana ebe. But when you small economy, you soon know. Ubi some specific question I may answer. I'm not implying say omuno ombo modern chair Ghana. But as far as meeting the convergence criteria, no, they were meticulous enough say omune inya dodo.
Okay. And until say all the 15 countries together ebe meeting criteria, no, yent me roll out echo no.
First ne dia na ye wo policy say country na omu ebetimi a meeting the best start.
Okay.
Na omu ayintimi ye no so no mreko no omu timi a na omu abejoin. Na say yentimi a meeting in 2020 no ya postponed the convergence phase no.
Okay.
Sisi ya de kwa another 3 years.
3 years.
Within the 3 years no. Na say ya press wa ya ko meeting bebrebe ye nyanti ase among ourselves say see no see do 3 years no so a better near choose country on best starting no. First ni de near say wa ubinyano na why. But who to me who say ba kompenku anya odoko atibenye. Until we need a critical mass in here kakra a dose enough. And ne try to define EBCM for GDP. So the countries on best starting, they must constitute at least almost GDP near Kambumwa. And I was say at least 60% of the total GDP. No, Into your press why we couldn't get agreement. Na deba Christmas. Kwa besa kotwaso because idea kasiye said there will be say, and I think we ask appropriate question. Embre the drew swa by all means I was here starting. Question pa.
And I know some random see out here won't mean
just the next meetings, which will be maybe February. February, March. The bit me decided say ABM crew 9 enya meetia ye almost started almost akano on join first son and year no na intimi ma nti ye ka se ne ye exam ye hwehwe mu bio na ye mpe ade a ebema obi a je atomu ebi fi se ye ne sa nso a ebi benya advantage but we dwen ho anya advantage is their performance. Yes, mu nyina monko na watimi a perform na ye ma me panse be kan say be a promotion pa wouldn't mean can say just ye nyina ye promotion ni and yes an ye no.
The other thing and it's and when they over called trade and because I know so you're part of terms of reference no why is it difficult for us to trade amongst ourselves nti ebia na before so be ECOWAS na o Ghana into your thinking and baby Ghana. Now you've been to ECOWAS, oversight over 15 countries. And then the man here ding say Ghana, Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Ghana. And as I may say, even Ghana, your major trading partners, they are not African countries. They are
all of them. Absolutely. Because social data now, the data now, I want to suggest to say, ECOWAS trade is less than 15%. About 15%. That's just a trade relative to the in other words, about 15% of the trade now occur among us. About 75% or 70% is with external way. One, because our economies are very similar. So and na ye nyina no so sabio ye develop to the point that efficiency ni greater. When your efficiency of production is greater, you can afford to ubetimi a yenia man and sell them at a cheaper cost. Inti de bia na ye pe baby a ye benya de fo a ye abrofu ya de. Yenya baby a sabio ye say quality ne ya na wo ho. Die yen nyina nka betimi aye no obi eyebi ye wo board Nigeria wo board Togo wo board nti ukopɛ board ato honko die ye nibi no ene ekopɛ ena besides no ye liberalize ye trade policies ni individually we don't meet the standards ECOWAS na setamaye. Inti na debie bia na wobete siesi Nigeria fo ne Ghana fo akasakasa. ECOWAS mrano ma kwan se Ghana ni bia timi tra Nigeria adwuma. Nigeria ni bia timi Ghana adwuma. But Ghana ni a obeko Nigeria no the obeye bia na must be consistent. It needs a contradicted Nigeria mra. The same thing. Ye ba sometimes yen crofo no enye mra na ya hyehye we ECOWAS na omode ka fi se bia me de kan asem Nigeria ni na baha en wa bagi ye adwuma ana Ghana ni abaha en wa kogi omo adwuma anti de bia na friction wo ho but nkia emra ya hyehye no sebi panyimfo atena se adwene ho ehu de beboa ye countries no ama ye presidents ni nyina sign enso bedu enforcement na ye manu nye adwuma said there was a ye adwuma no nka ye adwuma nka beboa ye pa kebeboa ye pa for example say ye nyine use the same currency exchange rate variation be anim the same rate awogina na agina de to ade so we can save a lot based on the variability of the currencies, you know. And
but to have such uniformity, you know, ebia kaza sa wo hwe the structure of the economies in ECOWAS enti o the francophone countries net on China or anglophone countries now if you want to say pay attention to CFA countries, no, which are the francophone countries, and how or more economies are structured, the influence of France on these economies. Do you think see a bedroom level be a convergence ni uniformity, no, a bit to me about? Because I mean, say me kind the details of the French colonial pact, for example, which is still at play in these francophone countries. It is almost an impossibility. That's our convergence, no. Ebe to me about now anglophone countries, francophone countries, that me enya sa common way. Do you think that really enya brebi ni ebreke ke na de nkonko se?
Well, maybe a juma me no gives me the sense to say possible.
Okay.
And that is my job to make it possible also. Inti me wujide see betimi aye ama ye nyina ye nya ho talk together. European Union, no, they were also like us. They were rich countries and poorer countries. And they had all kinds of no more war. And near my a strong be a country. Almost transi who say, see a cambo together. And it's a young cambo muno. Now your assessment na. Are we better off being separated, and I say we are better off coming together? There's no question about that. Yeah, assessment, and yet done by even non-Ghanaians, non-Africans, done by international consultants. No? So we'll be far, far better off. Yeah, who better yeah more? Say yeah, kambo since say yeah kambo. Why raise a point? Me no commissioner, I'm not supposed to indulge in these things because now a partisan. Okay, the problems between the English countries and the francophone countries, and in fact, you will lose a phone for
yes.
Yeah, and then they say there are still a lot of controls. The French countries, than English.
No,
I think say yeah independence. No, emrano mshisheto hono. Nenye den say emra mshishe wo. Ye nuamo French one. The kaseste mubidi isika. Musika mo Central Bank hana mudebeba. BBI yensu ye diano. We upin Ghana Central Bank of Ghana, Nigeria Central Bank. Inti etiti ye niem ye hufi niem bi ho a emayinya freedom more since almost the end. Until so often in together and think you bet me a jai, you bet me a year free one, and answer so taste of Francis, see, I'm more quine.
Yes,
they can leave. And TCC no dear honor, me say a year. And now say Croquesia pass many Cote d'Ivoire, and so ye interested to say, oh, at the end of the year.
Okay.
Timiji says, you
hope we can make progress.
Say, dear, ye problem region the managers of the economies. In this case,
individual economies.
The ministries of finance and all the allied ministries are all impacted significantly on our economic performance. Ye you push it in the right direction. There be our we Minister of Finance, Albertine Simbiaba, Sky Winnie Kra no wakoje. Now the abeye problem abano. Nina divert, Ibikra ni new budget project for the allowances biase Sika we senior yet a bit a quiet befast wetria. On say economists ni vulnerable. And I think that is one thing. COVID actually, yen say, yin pay attention to resilience. Si nipa na mwa ubo humba say, yare basa mao. Ti wa ho den a. yare bi ba encount.
In our case, external reserves and
Well, resilience, and they said the structures we have put in place,
Okay.
as some tree cry, you resist a cry. You so weak, say, and from a crab bar, that the echo. No, the COVID in the bar near who, for example, when you look at our consumption base, what we import and what we produce at home, we are all vulnerable. And now COVID by assistant world trade. You look at sources of financing for us. You look at our medical services. Ni nyina no yen strengthen no say ade ba ye betimi a withstand it, ye betimi a resist it. Until this time no was ye retool our economies no and undertakes programs such as strengthening the private sector better than it is now. So that you produce near money be not just production, producing it quality in a year, price in a year, and capable of being exported.
But you've been around for a while, and some all candidates say are not new to
anybody.
I mean, political watchers, economic watchers, obia inims aniome. Fortunately for you, you've been in government before. Then a man yet deign to implement these beautiful ideas. I don't know to mean yes,
because unfortunately I'm one. Politicians sometimes you tear the air cost of your mind. Yet necessarily the nippon penny na a yama yes a year at that particular time. But one yes or na samoaba. Inti a come home. When Adibaye, we have to respond and produce medicine, buy medicine in case you see Kayam Fankoto. Into Kotono, what diabetic resources from the Ankabia wa budget for we, Nina and Echo. One planet. And na ye reserves no so no son kese. Say, see, I some to abit me a kufi aku yibi. Na saka bebri that's wo. Maybe you kakrebi de wo dada. 2 years na I reflect on a dear changes about we ability to buy and to consume. Those are the issues I was here pay greater attention. The world is changing. For example, our traditional means of transacting business changing. We live in a digital world. In the country, one push yourself to be part of it. We have to. Business, the way we do our business, our support to the private sector, the technology available for private sector to use, and the skills. Yes, so far back, I was so way. I was so experience training nimdie because you are competing with the world that we are very sophisticated. Technology is advanced.
And looking on from the outside, and from the outside, not because you are not Ghanaian, but because this is here, oppositioner, you have interest in Ghana and other 14 countries. It is also rolling out digitization there. How is Ghana doing, CCR?
We can do more, but we are headed in the right direction. And me just say, you will see a year more. And sometimes when we are can maybe people may misunderstand you. Education, what is education? Is education just going to sit in the classroom and being taught? The world has changed. If you're just going to sit in the classroom and being taught today, and you don't have to go to the classroom, right? You bet me a teacher now what you hold now with you. So education itself, the content, and we are more important than just the education as sometimes we configure. Yendi wajari ano power ko classroom wakuti enuaba. Are you linked up with the rest of the world? The Ekosiisen world, muhubi. How many of our schools, even universities, have availability of computer for use? But that's where the world is saying. And now, kolake to be our computer with the fee in the developed world. The yanka crab boy and phones you see, at least with me internet. ubit me call online. Whatever is happening in the rest of the world, you ubit me and but how many people are using it? In our rural areas, is this happening? Good, we have free education. High ba. Na no the basic. That's the basic, because I don't know any schools supply computers enough for everybody to have one. And that today, that is the order of the world. That is the way the world is moving. Ghana is positioned so properly that we are one of the countries you beat me a leapfrog, you beat me a jump development. We need to make sure that the structures are in place. The quality of education that we need is in place.
And in terms of the digitization bit, you make the point, say, as a country, we are headed in the right direction, but you bet me I am more. And in terms of more, no, specifically, more no, in what regard? Say, education, they are working. And as a which other thing there was here relative to digitization, technology,
equipment. Every school must have a facility. You provide either subsidize or give away computers that people can have access to. Family, sebio, omo wo kruakesi mu, omo papa mu wuska na educated, they already may have access. But the rural folks, omo nibi, almost in a door. And you can't have two society, one that has and one that does not have. So government program must be looking for those opportunities. There are places in the world today, Ubetmiako, a place that used to be, say, Yakojieni, ya converted it into computer facility where individuals can go and do their work and go home. They don't own it. It's owned by the government. It's owned by the community. Ninyina ya dia ebetimia leapfroggers, amia jumpo the processes, and link up with the rest of the developing world.
Oh, okay. I get you. And see, before, and I will come back to the issues around economy, ABU, but answer, let me take you here. Enra, yes, flyer, and say, and then Yami Adoma Wabe Sawa. We asked our listeners, or more questions being near the Emma, and some of them, the questions ne kakra about. I would go there briefly now. Me the kakra means from me wanted to me the amount. But my first question will be: so, okay, say February 2018, and a ECOWAS a Germany. The last time we saw you in public office, was around 2007, right? 2007.
Yeah.
Yes, because you had to resign to contest for the flag bearership at the time. In between that time and 2018, now what are you doing?
Well, I've done a lot of consultancy work. Me Jumama ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. Me Jumama United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. ECA. Me Jumama for World Bank. So my Juma Kakra, I was never without something to do, even though the political clock take in our favor. But I always have had some work that I've done. Yeah.
And that's just between 2007, after your unsuccessful attempt to become flag bearer, up until 2018. Na consultancy I engage you. But I know, sir, within that period, 2016, your party won power again. I'm an Anado president in 2017. You were not appointed into any position, Meboa.
Yes.
Ade.
I don't know. Say president did not. I can't answer that question.
But I'll reject you and answer.
No, it wasn't offered to me.
Okay. Well, that's the first question. Berima will say to say, why were you not appointed by the president? Or is it that you declined the appointment as being speculated? What is it?
Well, my TB I will be a Canadian, but I don't think it's true that I declined.
Okay. No appointment whatsoever was offered you?
No.
Not even a board chairman?
No.
Okay. But you thought at the time, no? That's la wo pe pass over some woman.
Of course.
E by the anka obeje.
Of course.
Okay. Enti obi say Sonny Kwashi, or say Obi, my question to him is, what is his take on the economic situation in Ghana now? And as an economist, what better things can he do to solve these problems? That's a big question.
It is.
Very, very broad. Of course, you see, the conversation in Ghana now and around our economy has been about in debt situation and the latest Fitch,
ratings. That makes it difficult for us to access funds from the capital market. Yes.
And that's the situation now. And no, do you think say a situation ya boxing you into an
well, what I can the meeting I can say that is the idea of reality and it's untenable. We can't continue on that path. Well, ECOWAS convergence criteria no crowd say your debt to GDP ratio should not be more than 70%.
That's the ECOWAS convergence criteria.
Yes. And it's the and it's the standard that is also used to ascertain a country near
sound.
Yes, sound or not. Okay. So a standard okay. Unfortunately, I'm not in the government, but I can speculate. Say COVID no buy, all governments mobilize resources to deal with it. It's an emergency planning and ABBA. And so Mimi Gideon said a lot of countries around the world, and a lot of the countries are missing no ubia running budget deficits.
Budget deficits. Okay.
And you're unusual. COVID no impact na so government expenditures on also for. It is time for government to have a program that will ease us out of this high
of the situation.
Yes, yentimin to us. My economy said there was echo and overall also MYA convergence no. But say the agreeing when ye crew. So a cost rosa dear na a good business.
And a stroke, you mean that's a debt situation, the cost rosa?
Yeah, because government is taking the resources and private sector into a yes answer government function, the private sector function, and yard the crop. That means if we are not careful, our growth ebe form. But that is just one, because we also have to debt service ratio ebe kosro. Na kosro no so no sebiu skani few krum na akọ baby. Inti skano nso de nka obi apese if baby ba ni krum. Eno na ma wo to. Na wo de koji ska na de akoma neighbor wo ho beto neighbor no beto no wo so wo nto. Inti we need to keep more of our resources here. And when government borrows too much in SOA, the effect on the private sector is a interest rate in cost room will be private sector can compete with government. Inti na private sector no ejuma was omo ye na form. That means we are going to produce less. That means we are not competitive. Na afin crofone mano na ye koto more. Inti vicious
the path we are on now relative to economic management, we have to pause and change direction.
Oh, no question. I'm sure say that no government kasa the echo or better asosa in ye or see a share na he stimulated the private sector to generate the wealth in this country. That's it.
But in that regard, you think currently we are not doing that? And yet the private sector need create wealth.
Well, not enough. Enough.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do better. Much better. Because one, Ghana will produce, even within West Africa, we are better positioned than any country to be the strongest economy. Yeah.
Okay. Inti we say Obi, what exceptional qualities. But even before I come there, Bala Aqua says, please ask him why he didn't take part in the 2016 and 2020 campaign. Bala Aqua, 2016 and 2020. What did he part in the campaign?
I was absolutely involved in the campaign. That one, there's record. 2020, now me were ECOWAS. ECOWAS mrano mahu kwai say ubeba beye domestic politics.
Okay. But 2016, before ECOWAS appointment, you were
absolutely. And they were who me country we did an Kufuado ko baby. So there's no way I'll beat me akasa. And there are witnesses. Say campaign yen in a vacuum. We are many people. Manko anke nipa bebre se manko. Ye ko bebre.
That's true. And it probably brings me to the question, sir. Or say, good afternoon, Obi. What is Doctor's energy and intellectual reserve level that he wants to keep till 2025 to become president before utilization? 2, does he have any belief in the youth of today? If yes, we want to know his vision for the youth. Thank you, Charles Prempe, Charlie, and Ediwe Abba. And the first question following from Wayne said, do you want to be president? Still up to your man penny.
Yes, I do. And I do because president Nana Mepe, I have a vision. Me feel say it can be actualized. Yes.
When you are president.
Yes. Yes. And it's not overnight. It's something that I've developed for a very long time. As you know, way before I even came back, I returned to Ghana. And I was involved in politics. Yeah. We had a group that we formed in the U.S. that was opposed to Rawlings from the day of the coup to the day that he left office. And we worked very hard. So many of them are of the people who know me back in this country. Our vision, the exposure that we got, it gave me the confidence. Because me, myself, my intellectual family and a buyer. Me mommy and kusku, me papa and kusku. And I've thought I said, look, whatever, nyami di mechi, ne de mi kupi America. Pa mi kupi America, no, the idea me whom.
And America, ne year by no.
I went to. Hey, why are you going to give me this test? You want everybody to know how old I am. I went to America after secondary school when I was about 18 years old, 1972.
And you spent quite a time there,
about 20. Between my education and my job, I'm a year, I spent over 20 years there.
In America? Wow. Okay.
I went there as an exchange student. I entered an international competition. I was selected. So I went there for my last year in high school there. And then after that, I did a bachelor's, master's, PhD. And I taught in 3 universities. And then when Rawlings came is when maybe in Kame Magana Kra. But Mr. Rawlings Mukubai and we formed Ghana Movement for Change.
US.
Yes. Okay. And we opposed the government and opposed and opposed and opposed. And I wrote 2 books at that time. One of the books that attracted Professor Dubois' attention. Contacted me. I know about Cornell University on a visiting professorship. And I think he saw the book in a library or some place. And he called me. I never met him. I call secondary school. You kind of history books will be a legend. To offer me, I was touched. He also a Kai book no fee said was me bagana. That time na ya start agitation. Say a person rural Rawlings and them abai no ko. Ni yan cry yes you group wo ho. I cool meetings outside. There be any Ghanaian official of PNDC Beba US and any acquire demonstration. Demonstration. Some of my colleagues came back into the first government to cry. President Kofi government, maybe. And we have all groups we call here meetings. Ichia Chicago. A honama Mishia first time what is it? The Dr. Obete party were hey.
Is it Edward Mahama?
Dr. Mahama.
Okay.
Minino.
Okay.
My best friend and na me ne eko. Me nkase friend. No ye professor Oregon State Ohio State University. Inti chese mi senior pa na woni no. Ti eko meeting no Ghana movement ni meeting with Chicago. Ye ko no medical doctor ho. Ni fie ni ekodae. Ene ma mi hu na ye be ye namfo. And there were so many, you called New York, they just say Washington, New York, there almost all the time, because that is where all the ministers number meetings near the demonstration. We drew the White House attention so that we were even invited to the White House to provide information how if we say abanenye. And so we worked very hard. And during those times, I'm sure my first book, Kofa we. I wrote a book say a missing Ghanaian African immigrants Yababeka America Intimin. We are a missing link in Africa's development. In other words, we have contribution a betimiaye diabuama Africa akonenim. But ye krumono yempeye so hanon so they worship us. And that is basically the essence of the book. And when I look back, it is so true. It is so true. Because so share time where you cool school, you university, no. You school pet, ye PhD or master so bachelor so Asian say woman obiani wa obeka omunyina akọ yekrum. Because government no trust education sebio omfisi yenya no ebetimi aboa. Yenso no we didn't have that, and particularly time over world country no be military insensamno none of ayabohu yekunku nipa basabasa ne lawlessness wahano na we say you are better off so better now tini yema ti ya intellectual groups are ye ho adwuma, and many of them like me eventually came to their homes, their countries, because environment ni change ya nipa who say sebio oba basa ne legality ne undemocratic tendencies be anyhow. They went to their respective country, and many of them have made major contributions to their country.
And at the time, no, Ostarte Enya that inkling say you would want to be president of Ghana.
Yes, because what it is that maybe I was being arrogant with myself. Say, when I went, me call high school, no, I stayed there. I was in class with the white folks. Sebi impreduasa, and yeah, even elite be. Me know just a traditional secondary school na me call. But I look at myself. Na me hwe wo performance. Me who say na yenya as bad. DNT na wo no ayeyi aye de yentimi yeye. Why? What is it about us? Is it sebi yenim yansa ni bia na yenya intellectually capable? Inti na wo ayeye. And I was very religious. Me was secondary school. I was SU president, Scripture Union president. So,
Ghana,
yes,
school,
Chimboa could be a secondary school. I was grounded in religion, and I was a library prefect. And library prefect, and then the lead me and ma me call me because as library, I read every book that I could put my hands on, and I read a book, and none of me the cultural the essay competition na. So I didn't think it's a sebi ye but we share your life for ye lead. We share the environment that we live in. We share the resources in your media maya. You have to question yourself, what is it about us? Are there ye na? We share structures a way you crew and where been a war America. Every institution structures are a bema near my yen. Why is it that none of them work? Until I started grappling with these questions. Ade yeno no nyame no ompe ya semwana. Until I developed this to the point to say when near me we got nipa bibro almost so green the yes, we have to come home
back.
We first strongly say any be between about change Ghana. Not that say you are disrespectful or more wahano, but we first say the exposure na yenyano has given us confidence say you bet me and make a difference. Because if you went to high school, did bachelor's, master's, PhD, and taught in all this way, I thought they are white folks, and I didn't think they are smarter than us. So what is it about us? I end the intimate. So you begin to think, yes, out of arrogance, it's so searching, and now our crowd will lose confidence yourself. So there's something wrong with us. Why?
In a year, Ben, who cast our minds back a year, Ben, I'll back to Ghana.
I came back 92.
Oh, 1992.
Yes.
And I'll back to Ghana. 96, and I'll contest to become member of parliament, right?
I think I came maybe 91.
Oh, 91.
92, me buy and send near structures of the party now, better party in any idea. And because President Professor Dubois had me buy, I was almost on every committee. The research committee I was set say on party say young fan prepare to put the party in place. No? It was chaired by Professor Fulson, not only political science, head of department of political science at Legon. And that committee, began the process, even though maybe Obi wouldn't feel, but that was officially the committee that was inaugurated to look at all the issues are in here to be in place for a political party to be formed. Now, Mr. Apia Menkanka home.
Okay.
Na Osapuma Fuka home. Na Dr. Wayo Seni kan home. Na me kan home. And a few others.
Oh, okay. And this was 92.
Yes. And they started to prepare all of these documents. Okay. Way before 92, you started and there, as I said, around 91. Oh, baby.
And you qualify as a founding member of the MPP.
I was a founding member of the party when we started. So selection of the name, the selection of the symbol, the constitution, the manifesto was drafted by this.
First manifesto, no?
Yes,
so
were drafted, and then brought for approval. I remember clearly where we finished the constitution. We had a meeting at current president Father Hotel, where a committee had also been formed. And current president Nana Akufo-Addo, Malik Yakubu, the legal team. We tendered over the document for them to put the constitution in a legalistic framework. Say this is the constitution, but legally it has to be put in a legal framework. So we work from the very beginning because Professor Dubois was at the center of the politics at that time, and he had brought me, I was at the center with him.
Okay, and all my opportunities not to also work.
Too many. And I was energetic and enthusiastic.
At the time, now, okay. In 96, you contested to become member of parliament. Obeye MP in 96 for Offenso, right? Offenso North constituency. And then 2 years after that, I contested with first primaries to become flag bearer.
That's true.
And I was going through the data, no. Let me share 98 Congress, no. Number of delegates at the time, no, we had 1,993. You were on that ballot together with John Ajekum Kufuor, the current president Nana Akufo-Addo, Mr. Kwame Kodua, Malik Alhassan Yakubu Ubo earlier, and a J.H. Mensah. Now, John Kufuor 1,286. Akufo-Addo 628. And Awunya 52 votes. You came third with 52 votes. At the time, no, so vote on as a shock to you. And now if we say first time in the
it was a shock to me because I thought my dream say my year enough. Meet me better results than that. But It was an initiation.
Yeah.
The message that time was not that they didn't. And our message was not say minya de ana minti minye. Ye kru mu hane de ye see me so too much.
Oh.
Usa uba ye nche wa beto mpanyimfo mo no nko na ya taking note of you. Because I was the spokesperson even then in the opposition, on matters of finance. And I think we all did very well. Over a short period, there was nobody who could have no intimidating.
Dr. Konadu Apraku.
And there were others who were also doing other portfolios, who also did excel. We created the impression in the country, say, indeed, and Crawford, a from MPP for no, the Omano ma. So, in spite of Sebio, military dictatorship, where was suppression of views, political activity, and the abuse of state resources against opponents. For example, me no, I'm robbers, me fee, me car, me parky, and near you, me say, even the first election, me parliamentary election, year one, a helicopter landed in one of my constituencies, a Francho. To intimidate us. Sebi say a crassy idea. You who helicopters soldier for every more. The whole polling station, everybody ran away. I don't know what they intended to get, but I stood my ground and said, what are you doing here?
And where it was in 1996, right?
Yes. So what are you doing here? Almost say, yeah, it's a problem. I'm saying, about a problem. This is a civilian election. If there's a problem, so please, Nebaha, military demo for the hour. I'm saying you rude. I'm saying I'm not rude. There's no place for you in a polling station, in the constitution or any election regulation. So you don't deserve to come here. More best came, I'm a microphone in here, will be a baby who helicopter that. How about to so now we are deep body or me, I'm not going anywhere, but the one. And so this is the thing. So we went through hell. Armed robbers, the front page, Apraku attack. This. There's not a single election during the period that I was MP. Meku mikruma kotwa ba mebani and ransaki mifie. Not one.
Even including time amumu power no.
No, yeah, bar power there nice. Talking about opposition.
In opposition. But the other thing is, 96 you became MP, 98 you contested your first primaries. Neoma Anko, you said you can.
But so it's a name a year Juma a lot before the primaries.
Before the primaries.
Yes.
Yeah, I get
so
you.
So people knew me.
I get you.
Yeah.
But also the message they gave you, and as the feedback on the man, they say, Usa, Obetu ebinom, maybe no monko any other. Fast forward 2000, you won power with J. Kofi as president. And Oye minister, and you served in several capacities in that government. 2007, another presidential primaries, Ekosiisen. At the time, because now based on the Ekosiisen party for it was obvious because you contested the 98 primaries no with Nana Akufo-Addo who came second. And it was obvious in 2007, now on Edu. Why did you still contest?
Well, and I know BBC taking cognizance of the results no crown, I shouldn't have contested.
Yes.
Because one, Nana Akufo-Addo and I we came from the same mold. Yinina Professor Dubois in Nipa. Okay. And Nana Akufo-Addo, President, me brother Nana Akufo-Addo, President, yes. His Excellency, Nana, yes, Excellency. Here now, no so near I see me.
Okay.
And I can tell you, say we even had a meeting before we went to Sunyani. The two of us.
That's in 98.
Yes.
Okay.
He invited me, and this is on record between him and I. We sat down and talked about the election, the realities of the time, and for all that you said, and also no. He appeared a lot more known, popular than I have because me ba Ghana nenche. So ni nyina ye nyina ye tena di ho nkomo. And I don't want to reveal these things. And that was not the first time I'm in a trance and strategize on this. And I may even add the same microphone so me din komo that time. A lot of people first say it's just too early. But me de me see me ba behwe. Ti me behwe. And the results did not suggest to say do me so. Everybody said Tobo. I mean, that became the theme. There be
at the time.
Say, yeah, usadodo.
In the 2007, no, now Ufri said that was the right time for you to now.
2007, and I know I was interviewed. Now, me sure what was going on. There were too many issues that maybe. As a politician, maybe I shouldn't even have been in that
have
race.
Contested in that race with 17 people.
Yeah, there were too many other issues that are not captured by the data. So, ideally, I shouldn't even have been in that.
That's our issues. No, issues are
No. Those are personal issues.
Now, me share 2007 data now. 2,293 delegates. The first was Nana Akufo-Addo, 1,096.
First was President Akufo.
Wait, 2007.
07. Oh, okay, yes.
In Nana Akufo-Addo, 1,096. Alan Chamantemba second, 738. Michelle List now, you came 11th with 19 votes.
Yeah.
This is 2007.
Yeah.
And so in 2014, and so contested the first one, Super Delegate Congress, no, and also no. You polled 10 votes. And now Alan Chamantin was in there. Now Akufo-Addo 81.28%. Alan Chamantin 8.01%. Joe Gatton 2.85%. Adenimo 2.85%. Kofi Osayame 1.90%. Asamoah Boateng 1.76%. And Awunya 1.36% with 10 votes. And if I'm right, when the presidential primaries are standing 3. In all of them, no. Now votes no and shada nye eniso. Don't you think, sir, the party doesn't really consider you, sir, you are the person to lead them into any election?
Well, that is for us to find out. Minyinisa, I don't think the votes no na air cancer. We had a very unique election in 2014. I don't think it reflected my performance.
Your performance.
Yes. I just want to leave it at there. But it didn't.
We a believer in Ebia Kase in the NPP no more a Q theory. Ain't a Q theory meaning say yenim ebimo kan yenim wo free tete. You know, say Nanado free hodea. Konadu Apraku ne contesting in 1998, on the contesting 2007. And it's a follow your fruit, ye move free tete mantra ne dia na edru. So do you believe in that theory?
I believe in the theory in itself. The people who have served the party honestly, faithfully, should be rewarded by the party. If it's what you call the Q theory, I don't know. But Mimi Fee say party and people invest in a party to get it to become a winning machinery. And a party no so no a party a person a grassroots party. Party a best serve in Nipano. And you can't serve somebody you don't know. Nti party no a prepare over time and link us up with the grassroots and build confidence. Because one share party no need leadership no, not they will be at variance. The leadership no pay no regard. So person mechanism to the rules no because they have no association. Party. Party no.
Okay.
We believe say a democratic party. Democracy means people are given the opportunity.
Opportunity.
So people who serve and no omuna own party no. The grassroots people own the party, and they should be confident about the person who be the party name. Yes, because you have to have a relationship with them.
And as our confidence in that person, no, Emma through longevity, keke say ebi ani pana wo hwate. Ejuma ni pana ye, right?
Ejuma too.
Okay.
First, you have to know the character.
Okay.
You unino. From what he has done, his track record. Unino through the relationship that you have with. Because our political arrangement, maybe all political arrangement, but the one that I'm talking about, unique political arrangement in this country is that there is a lot of detachment between the people and the elected. That is something that all of us, because in the final analysis, no, a grassroots political structures that we have, no, that people from the lowest level elect the most powerful people, no. Actually said they have to know you. Let me tell you some experience in the United States, for example. In the US, because the country is not so centralized, political party, make me a Democrat. We are Republican.
Yeah.
I can vote in a Republican primary. What do you say? Me American.
Yeah.
So I know a good thing when I see it. In the hormonal system, no, and yes, so much attachment to an individual. Like Trump did.
Okay.
Trump never declared in the past, so Republican or Democrat. Yeah. But he can jump in. Almost system not developed to the level that. We carry our people with us for a long period. And their confidence is based on the track record of I know him.
I know him.
And so when Nanado was tagged, let me be sad. Hey, I keep saying Nanado, I'm sorry. His Excellency, His Excellency, President Nana Akufo-Addo. Was it me bisane say na if you new free tete no where did they come from? No catch them say okwaye no somebody was introducing him. Na maame no also penasem one was say manemrania no was say we die yenim ne free tete. Nya election time, but when the election time came around, he found it very useful. So ampa yenimifitete. We know him, so we know what is likely to do. We don't risk it. System no more. We don't risk it because we are so fragile. We're building a life, nene hope on this party. So this party bar. He's not about to take a chance. Obi a woni no odi tumi akoma no
baba eno no na mebema be busa say ye hwe names a amanfo e bandi around say omu nyina wo interest. Of course some of them have not officially confirmed ebinum to say wo ma confirm say party ne makwan say amanfo nko pick forms abekwa pick forms to contest. Say me hwe names na into wudin aba up Jogati din aba up Boache Jaku Diaba up. Alan Trematin Diaba up. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Diaba up. Akuto say a Greek minister Diaba up. And Hoibio. Yes, I think that's that about it. So what should say names Amabuboya? Why they new? None of them seems to be
the people will determine who is new. Let's leave it like that for them. But I will not determine for them who is new. But I believe, sir, the party people know what if it's not a new no almost whatever attribute or almost no,
they will decide.
They will decide.
But in your case, no free say any of the attributes are you qualify for them.
I believe so.
Or qualify for Nina.
I believe so.
So I was a party for any shebibia. Say Dr. Konadu Apraku unya kwan eba be some ebe ye minister under Kufuor. E pese ye hwe achievement pa inti ye gyina so ato aba ma say be di yenima e achievement ben.
Well,
the because bobe mienu a achievement ben.
I introduced the Friday wear. I introduced school feeding program. Maybe you don't know.
You did?
Yes. It was part under the NEPAD program. And the first person that I met was the ambassador of Netherlands. He's the first person who said they pay a visit to me in my office. Said they would be willing to finance it. And I worked with him and we visited the president. And I remember the president was going to Washington, to New York on
UN
General Assembly. And we prepared for him to meet
ambassador.
No, the ambassador was going to introduce him to the head, his head of state. And that's how we started that process. Yes, and many others.
Friday we're another time now we trade.
Trade. Ghana was the first country to win the AGUA visa, which allowed Ghana to export without duty, without quota to the United States market. When we were selected, I think we were the first or the second African country that had won that. And it was my initiative. I traveled to the United States so many times, negotiating with the trade secretary of trade. He became a personal friend of mine. Later, he went to Japan as an ambassador. He ran for governor in Utah, and we are still friends. He had a personal bishop. What they say.
Okay. Archbishop Duncan Williams.
The wife.
The wife.
She was working in that office, so I have an alibi. He was working at the U.S. Trade Department. And we have been friends since that time.
Oh, okay. And those are notable achievements.
And many more.
And many more.
During the time that I was the trade minister, go and look at our export levels. I took the Ghanaian exporters to Turkey, took them to Mauritius, I took them to France. Every place that we could market made in Ghana goods, we were there. Yes. Ghana Export Promotion Council.
So was Obi legitimately, now that Nanado is not in the picture, so also Obi legitimately, LA claim to the Yenimu free to mantra now, it is you.
There's no dispute about it. There should be no dispute. Nobody.
Yenimu free.
Of course. Look at my involvement in bringing about the formation of the party. All the activities that were involved in forming a political party. I was there. I was in Mr. Kreku's house when the meetings were going down. President Akufo-Addo was there. Mr. Hakmo Uswajima was there. Mr. Kwame Nabates was there. Because he was very close to Dr. Safu-Odu, just as I was so close to Professor Dubois. And Nadu was so close to Professor Dubois.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Dr. Sebi. They were all there. I don't know many others that were there at all.
And at least from 1806, I'm able to know Omumu Bieniho.
Nana Akufo-Addo. President Akufo-Addo, sorry.
No, aside. Me can 6, I'm able to move
I didn't see any of them there. No.
The party for one catcher say, of course, yes, those times we agree. But those are in the past. In recent times, from 2016, Eba Omua Ejina Ho Akwama Party me say we need power. Time I NDC for a winning in 2008.
I was there in 2016. The only campaign that I missed, since I joined this party was formed, is the last election, the 2020.
2020.
Yes, I was there. The evidence is there. President Akufo-Addo will tell you, I was with him.
2012,
2012, I was the campaign, I was in charge of campaign security.
2012?
Yes. 2008, I was the campaign manager.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Sorry, not the campaign. Yes, the campaign manager.
After say,
yes.
contesting in 2007, you know.
Yes.
He made you campaign manager.
Yes, I was the campaign manager for him 2008. And then followed up with the director of security for the next election. The only election that I didn't participate fully.
2020.
Yes.
And then also because now we go.
Yes, absolutely. The record is there. I'm not making anything up.
Based on, I don't know, are you worried when people say, and I mean political watchers and analysts say, race we know, a 2-horse race between Bawumia and Alan Trematin. Are you worried?
Well, this is politics. People can say what they want. At the end of the day, the people are what they say will be the most important point. It will be the best declaration
of
the intent. We are working and we are making a lot of progress. I'm confident.
So the story will be different this time around.
The story will be different.
How different will it be from, say, 2007? Because I'm sure 2007, Alan was in the race and he did well than you. In the Edena way, be different.
Well, there are different times.
Do you subscribe to a more Ekase for the NPP to be accepted by a critical mass of Ghanaians as a true national party, it's probably time for the NPP to pick a candidate from a minority tribe in Ghana to be their leader?
I believe NPP should select the best candidate for the party, for the campaign, or for the election.
Yeah, but what constitutes best, Factors in the door. So when you're one factor.
Well, the person who has the best chance to win for us, and the person who has the capacity. Winning is one thing. The capacity to deliver. You're talking about breaking the 8. It's not just about winning. So it means that we have to have somebody that can sustain, who will generate the confidence of the people, to the point say we are willing to give it to you because we know you can break the 8 and continue, sustain it. So it is deeper than just the man of the moment.
And for that thing now, Obi what the capacity to sustain after winning the 2024 elections, Konadu Apraku.
I believe that. I have to believe that.
But in your own way, who is the man of the moment? Man of the moment now, Walker say it should not necessarily be about the man of the moment.
Man of the moment, we have not had any election to determine who is the man of the moment.
Yeah, but there are names and Walker said this guy looks favorite.
Well, people can do whatever they want. I have not been involved because ECOWAS rules did not permit me. So people are even surprised. Hey, now Ubeba. Oh, Ubeba the best support. That's what I hear.
Now, in this issue, would you be resigning from your ECOWAS position to be able to campaign?
Obviously, at the time that we need to file, originally, ECOWAS was for a four-year term.
Okay.
That would have ended at the end of February. And I thought everything was going well until just recently they said they have extended our term additional 4 or 5 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that is if I have to resign, it's not from the original contract. It will be the addition.
The additional
way. So.
Okay. But I think this other point is so about the NPP becoming a national party, you still believe, sir, the focus should be on who is best to win power for the party and not the party taking that critical decision, sir, whether we lose or win, we have to change a certain narrative around our party. Let's pick somebody from a minority tribe, somebody from the northern part of our country to be on the ballot for us.
Political parties choose people who can win for them. That's all. It's only one definition, winning. It has nothing to do with this or that. We select the person who can win, who has the best chance to win. We do not experiment with elections. And elections, the candidate that you are selected is not what determines whether the person a broad national consensus. It's the programs and activities. Every Ghanaian is a Ghanaian, equally so. So you're president, you have an obligation to everybody. It doesn't matter. We should not overstretch this concept of ethnicity and this and this. It is not helpful. Ghana wants the best person to lead us. That's why I was pointing out to you that even in the United States, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you can vote in any of the primaries. If I'm a Republican and I know that Democrats are presenting a candidate, I will bet me a change or manner. There is flexibility in America that a Democrat can vote in a Republican convention, primaries. That's the ultimate sense of democracy. Let the best win. And the fact of the matter is that you are not running an ethnic politics or ethnic campaign. You are running a campaign that will attract the people, discerning Ghanaians, to vote for you, regardless. So if you are going to say we are allocating a position to somebody because of ethnicity, that's not your best chance to win an election.
It's not your best chance to win. Some have said, Inti Waka said, you tick all the boxes. As far as qualities are, there was a party in the next leader and not take all the boxes. Inti you aside, do you think the current vice president will be a good president?
That's not for me to judge. That's not for me to judge whether somebody
you
will be.
Don't have an opinion about him?
The people who are going to vote are the ones who are going to have the opinion. My opinion does not matter.
Has he been a good vice president? A good head of the economic management team?
They say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. If he has been good, the people will reward him. If he has been good, just say he has been good or bad. Obviously, you don't even expect me to answer that question. But there are people who have it in their interest to select the very best person. And in their analysis, if they come to the conclusion, say, from what he has done, and I don't want to single anybody. Why are you asking me about him and
no,
nobody?
I'm coming to the other candidates.
Well, let's end it here because my answer will be the same for all of them.
No, but at least Alan Tremontin is also in the race. 2007, on in the contest as part of the 17 people. I'm Oba second. The last time the president went to Butumfo, in introducing him, I said, Abranti so Timencheno, wa prayer say obey president. Do you think, say like you, it's also about time a party for no ever rewarding away the leadership?
I think they reward Apraku for the leadership of the party. That's all I think. They should reward Apraku.
Salmon.
Of course.
Because of the mantra. No?
Not all, because I have the capacity and the capability to deliver to the people of Ghana.
To the people of Ghana.
That's the essence. You know, if it now and you're good, it doesn't cut. I believe I have the capacity. I think I can take this country on a completely different trajectory.
What would be that one major groundbreaking policy as president?
Well, there's so many policies that we are already working on, and I don't want to prejudge that. Yes.
But at least you have a vision for our country.
We do. I want a country now that will build sustainable, resilient economy where people will be free and live in dignity. And I also want to make sure that the rules and regulations, the laws of this country work the way they are, irrespective of personalities. And I want us to create greater accountability for government. This government must be responsible to the people. A lot more. There is a lot that we can do. The focus of policy. We can't continue on the path that we are. Obviously, we're making progress, but we need to speed up that process, and we need to widen the scope of possibilities in our countries, in our country here. I've been very lucky. I've worked for the World Bank in countries that have gone through difficulty. Croatia after the war. The UN, United Nations, through our hero, Kofi Annan, nominated me as part of a team to go to Croatia. Then I was a professor at the university. I took a leave to go and do that. He put a team together to work to rebuild the country because they went through a very terrible civil war. I was there. I was in charge of operations and development of programs. We worked so hard and put that country on a new trajectory. It's now a very strong country.
Oh, wow.
When South Africa was going to have the election, again, he called me that he was sending a delegation to go there, not just to supervise the election, but to prepare. Because as you well know, they had never had any experience to even manage anything because of the apartheid policy. And now we were going to hand over a country to them. We went to work again, training people, helping develop programs that would take the country out of apartheid and integrate it into the world community. We worked very hard. I've had that experience. The experience that I've had, I have been so blessed. And I believe that I can apply some of the experience and the knowledge that I've acquired in the process. My exposure to ECOWAS has become one of the best things that has happened to me. And I think I have a wider scope. There's nothing magical. There's nothing magical. Those countries that develop and those that fail, no, there's no prejudgment. There's nothing in their design. Say we best succeed, we succeed. We have opportunities to succeed. What you put in determines what you get out. And I think I will put in what will bring out the very best in us. Not just at the economic level. Not only at the economic, there's a lot. Sectors. Yes, across all the sectors. Okay. We want to elevate ourselves to the level that God wanted us to be.
Look, I wish we could continue, but we're your first in many interviews, Ebeba. And Yebeshana Yedi was your sorry, my sports team to take you over. It's been an exciting time with you. Minimum so sir, you campaigned passionately for Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In 2012, in 2016, as you rightly said. In 2016, he won power together with his vice president, Dr. Bawumia. 5 years into a more administration, have they met your expectations? Or my idea?
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Well, a lot. They did a lot initially. They were moving the economy in the right direction. As I said, that the economic indicators will point to that. COVID abefem ama eniema anka na ekoye nim no kro biasa started by echi, such as the microeconomic stability account me. On balance, and they are not the only ones COVID affected. We look at across the world, many countries have suffered and there has been setback and we have had our share. But on balance, I think they've done what they can. They done what they can, and initially I think we were on the right
On the
trajectory.
right trajectory.
Yeah.
But for COVID. And
COVID is done. Yeah, but underneath the COVID is that we should pay more attention to resilience. The capacity, the structure should be solid. That even if you fall, you can get up and walk away. And that's what we lack. And that's what I want us to pay greater attention to. Yes, all these things, you can't prevent them.
Yeah.
Nobody thought there was going to be COVID. The next time, what will come, we don't know. But we should build our economy so solidly, particularly using our private sector to be the engine of growth. So that as some to cry, yes, a bit put you back, but you can get up and walk.
Fantastic.
And that's what we lack in Africa. Not only Ghana, all the African countries, we have weak underlines. And we need to really build what we call the resilience. You fall, you get up and walk.
Super. We'll do this again, Doc. And we wish you all the best. Ekosiisen Suni. It's been an interesting interview with Dr. Kofi Konadu Apraku, and he is with ECOWAS and said, "I'm watching the